Okay, this video is for 2017. This is a Silverado 2500 HD. I'm assuming like the 14 to 17 body style at least. This should cover if you ever lose power randomly to the HVAC, the radio, some random lights, a lot of weird power feed kind of problems. I'll show you what I found. I was checking fuses. We went through and we were looking at some of these are steering wheel controls went dead, radio went dead, C44 SEO body control module, not all of them, just some of the body control module stuff, which obviously caused some really wacky issues. That's what led me to believe look at body control module power, especially because when you start getting a bunch of random stuff that does not seem to be linked together at all, it's usually because it's going through a body control module, or it's a power feed issue that multiple things are missing. Because there's a lot of random stuff, like we had lights not working, like exterior lights not working on like the left rear turn signal and the front right turn signal, but the rest of them would work. And the steering wheel controls and the radio and the HVAC, well, it's interior, but then when you got exterior stuff too, you really need to pay attention to some of those body control module power feeds. But that's what we found randomly. Some of the body control module power feeds were okay, some of them weren't. So either way, there's a fuse box on the right hand side of the dash, there's one on the left hand side, and then there's one in the engine bay. I was checking all three of them, and then when we found the one on the right here, is where a bunch of stuff that looks like it should have had power and it didn't. So started pulling this apart, see what's going on, and then that led me to these are the main power wires that feed this box. Two of them are power and one of them's ground, I think. And I had power at one of them, and I figured I should have power at least one of the other ones as well. Trying to decipher where that went. Didn't have a schematic or anything, but it goes and disappears under the kick panel. But find up here on the little distribution box on top of the battery, you've got these guys, these connectors. The power wire comes in, goes into this guy. It's a funny looking, probably expensive, ugly fuse thing here. So if you've got a weird power distribution fault, come up here and look around this. And what we ended up finding was this connector right here is what controls that, and the connectors inside of this guy are really not worth a shit. Mine happened to be number one. There's number one, number two there. Number one is the one, the red with the gray stripe, and then there's a red with a green stripe, and you can check those same wires at that connector on that fuse box. But once I did that, what I ended up doing for now, you see just a spa dielectric grease in there, but if you pop these little corners out, these little, see how they're in there, get a little screwdriver in there, pop this out, that's what holds those wires in. So pop them out both sides. That'll allow you to wiggle and slide the wires out, and just remember who was where. Number one is the gray stripe, number two is the green stripe. And I kind of got in there with a little pick and pliers and stuff, and we kind of did the old squeeze them together, make them a little better deal, because the first time I just tried to clean it and I put it together like so, and you could come up here and you could wiggle this up and down and you could make it lose connection there. So I took it apart again and kind of just pinched them for now, put a little dielectric grease on, try to clean everything up, and I can wiggle this around and it doesn't seem to lose connection. I think I'm gonna see if I can buy those crimp-on pins somewhere online, and actually redo this whole